I'm here with a 2020 model YZ250 two-stroke Yamaha. Now this little video is going to be a follow-up to the recent one I did about the comparison between Chinese Hengjin 250cc Enduro / Motocross as compared to, say, buying a used YZ250. Now the reason I'm doing this video is because I've been waiting for this bike to arrive for quite a while. A friend of mine brought it up and kindly let me use it because I wanted a direct comparison between the power output of a modern 250 two-stroke as opposed to the Chinese Hengjin 250cc two-stroke, because it's been a heck of a long time since I've been able to ride one of those, so the memory fades a little bit. I do know that they are quite powerful. The last bike I owned that was a big two-stroke was a Beta 300 RR 2019 model, and that thing absolutely ripped. But I've just looked up the horsepower figures for this one, and it actually put out more horsepower than that.
It is stock as a rock.
So I took it out yesterday, and wow, there is just no comparison between the power output of this bike as opposed to the Hengjin 250.
Suspension clicker adjustments, nothing at all, as I mentioned in the...
And I'll tell you why. This one puts out 46 horsepower approximately at the rear wheel. The Hengjin probably around about 32 to 34 horsepower in standard form, and I'm not even sure it's that much. This thing is violent. The acceleration on this thing is incredible. Anybody who's seen my latest video in the Rider Tales will know what I'm talking about there. Well, it's always like reliving that moment again from when I was 17 and I rode my first 250 two-stroke to get back on one of these. And this one here, for comparison's sake to the bike I had in that video, which was an RM250Z from 1982, this one's actually got 5 more horsepower at the crank, and if my research is correct, it actually translates into about 8 or 9 more horsepower at the rear wheel. Any of you that are familiar with or have got one of those vintage sort of bikes, these things are much faster again. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's just incredible to compare this to the Hengjin, because I did suspect the Hengjin was, well, I knew the Hengjin was down on power compared to a modern 250 two-stroke. What I didn't realise was how big the gap was. And yeah, these things are just incredible. The acceleration on these things is mind-blowing. Like I said, I haven't ridden a modern two-stroke motocross or enduro for probably about 4 or 5 years now, so yeah, it was going to be a little bit of a shock, but 30 seconds in and I was ripping up and down the road on it, and along the dirt tracks here. Yesterday was pretty wet here in Isan in northern Thailand, so we couldn't get out into the tracks on it. Plus it's got a little bit of a carburetor problem where the fuel bowl's leaking. But anyway, it gave me enough time on the bike to do the comparison that I needed to. I've definitely got my work cut out ahead of me. I've had a lot of comments from viewers that have already given me some of these tips, so I've done some research myself, and the main things I do say to extract horsepower out of the Hengjin 250 is, number 1, upgrade to a bigger carburetor. This one's a 38mm carburetor on the YZ250. They're saying to put one of those on the Hengjin, and you need to change the reed block and the intake boot there, of course, because it'll be too small, and put in some sort of reed, probably Boyson reeds or V-Force reeds or something like that. Next, they say unhook the electronic power valve from the ECU on the Chinese bike, because, and this does make sense to me because I've experienced it, it just falls flat in its face on top. It doesn't allow the power valve to open fully. So there's 2 tricks to this one, or there's 2 fixes to this one. One is you can unhook the electronics from here and just pin the power valve in the fully open position. Or the other one is you can just buy a mechanical kit. You still bypass the electrics, you unplug the electrics, and just put a mechanical kit in, so it just works like the old ones probably would have done on the YPVS and the ATAC systems for the Honda and Yamaha respectively. Now, what else we got? Another one makes sense too. Shave the cylinder head or the cylinder block a fraction of a millimetre to increase the compression ratio, because the Hengian motors are designed for longevity and for using a wide range of quality fuels. Upping the compression ratio means, yes, you'll have to use a higher quality fuel, but most of us that ride bikes seriously will do that anyway. We'll use 95 octane, 98 octane. Right, and lastly, my research does suggest replacing the standard expansion chamber on the Hengian with an aftermarket one. This one's an FMF, a bit rusty, but you get the idea. Something like that, because they do say that the standard one on the Chinese 250 dirt bikes are restrictive. I didn't think it was actually. It looks like an exact copy of these ones to me, but anyway, we'll do the other mods first. I think we will go ahead and do the carburetor, and I won't be shaving the cylinder head and cylinder block just yet. I'll try the other mods first with the power valve and the carburetor. We'll go ahead and do those two mods first, and we'll leave the expansion chamber to start with. I do think though that I'm probably going to need to do the cylinder head at least at some stage, but we'll do the other two first and see how much of a difference that makes, if any. I'm pretty sure it will, because they do say that we should be able to extract another 8 to 12 horsepower out of the standard DT230 Lanza engine that's being used, or the copy of it that's being used in the Chinese bikes. So yeah, that's a significant increase. So if you're looking at 32, straight away you're up to 44, which that's acceptable. Now, I actually want to race the Hengian 250 in Enduro events here in Thailand, and if I'm going to be up against guys on bikes like this, I don't want to be giving away, what are we talking about, 15, 16 horsepower. That's okay in the tight stuff, but it hasn't even got enough pulling power to get up steep hills. So I'm going to be losing out to these sort of bikes and KTMs and Husqvarnas and Gas and anything else that's sort of similar to it. I'm going to be losing out to even the 4-stroke models. I'm going to be losing out to all those sort of bikes straight away. So yeah, so it's got to be done. At the end of the day though, like even a second-hand one here, the guy that's bought this bike, he's paid somewhere in the vicinity of, I think $7,000 US dollars. Bikes like this are quite expensive in Thailand, second-hand bikes. Most of them are imported. This one's imported from Japan. So you're talking about a bike of that price as against a sub $2,000 bike from China. And look, to be honest, the standard suspension on the Chinese bikes and the frame and the chassis and so forth, it's pretty good quality. It's pretty much only the engine that is letting them down. Alright guys, so that's where we're sort of at the moment. Right now, the Hengian is in a different location. I've got a house here in rural Thailand, and I've got another 4 bikes. I've got another 4 motorcycles about 1,000 kilometres away from here. So next week I'm going to go and get that bike, and I'm going to bring it back here so we can start doing these modifications, and yeah, so we can get out and rip on some trails and do a bit of racing and have some fun. Because right now it's just not where I want it to be, and if I can't get that extra 8 to 10 horsepower out of it, it's not a bike I want to keep, to be quite honest. It's just, I'm used to bikes that have got a lot of power, and that's what gives me the enjoyment. And if I haven't got that, well, yeah, it'll be sayonara to the Chinese dirt bike, unfortunately. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you've got any comments, as usual, or if you've got any other modifications that you can add to, not this bike as I'm pointing at the Hengian, please feel free to let me know, and I'll explore that avenue or that option as well. So, alright, thanks for watching guys again, and I shall see you next time. Mike from Moto Turo.